The man touches a female statue every day, but unexpectedly causes his body to start petrifying. What's even more terrifying is that this statue is constantly bleeding. Hello everyone, today we are talking about a short film called Genesis. Jack is a sculptor. He faces a lot of statues every day. This time he is working on carving a woman. Compared with the other statues beside him, this statue devoted all his efforts. The statue looks lifelike, and Jack looks at the statue more than once in a daze. Also touched it more than once. When the camera zoomed out, we saw some pictures on the wall. There is a woman in the photo. I noticed that the woman in the statue seemed to be somewhat similar. At this point, Jack covered the statue and was ready to go back to rest. It rained heavily at night. There are thunder and lightning. Jack woke up from a nightmare. The next day Jack came to the studio, ready to continue processing the statue. But he didn't notice that there was a little blood on the cloth covering the statue. He stroked the statue, coiling it little by little, like some people coil walnuts. But when he crossed the legs, there was blood flowing down from the side. What's going on? Jack's hands are shaking. He looked up at the statue and saw what appeared to be a breach above the statue's chest. He hurriedly rummaged through the boxes and started looking for something. Finally found a magnifying glass. After confirming that the blood was flowing from this place, he hosed down the statue. Such a perfect statue is not allowed to have flaws. But after flushing, Jack saw an even more desperate scene. There are countless wounds on this perfect statue. He collapsed and fell to the ground. At this moment, the scene suddenly changed, and a charred car appeared in front of our eyes. When Jack walked past, there was a sudden scream of a woman. And this person seems to be the woman in the picture on the wall, and of course the statue. Jack woke up again startled and stared at the studio, where he seemed to hear some movement. That's when Jack realized he had a nosebleed. Then hurried to the bathroom to clean up. But the strange thing is that the stone powder came out from his nostril at this time. What's even more terrifying is that after he took off his clothes, there were traces of petrification on his body. At this moment, there was a sound in the studio. Jack hurried in, wanting to see what happened. But to be honest, the various statues in his studio are somewhat peculiar and quite scary. When Jack turned on the light, what caught his eye was the female statue. However, at this time, the statue began to crack, and there seemed to be flesh inside. Jack felt incredible as he gently stroked his hand. Could it be that he has become like this when he usually carves too much? And, looking at Jack's appearance, it's obviously painful. He is crying while holding the statue. And as the statue continued to crack, Jack's body also underwent terrifying changes. It seems that every time the statue cracks, his body becomes petrified. For example, his legs were all petrified at this time. Even if he pokes with a sharp weapon, he doesn't feel anything. It makes him desperate. Crashed, he came to the utility room. He dug out some photos and clothes, then started playing the tape at night. That's when I realized that the woman in the photo was Jack's wife. His wife died in a car accident. This makes Jack heartbroken. That's why he thought about getting a statue that looked exactly like his wife. Do one of the best work of his life. He doesn't know why his body petrified a little bit. The statue is also cracking a little bit. Over time, most of Jack's body became petrified. And he can't move. Even the left hand turned to stone. He wanted to cut with a knife, but the knife didn't work. In the end, he could only use the smash, and then his broken hand appeared next to him. Seeing the scene, Jack cried out in despair. Compared with the despair and collapse of Jack, the real body inside the statue is revealed little by little. Jack lay on the ground tired and looked at the statue, and it seemed to start moving. But he has no extra strength, so he can only close his eyes. The next day, Jack only had one eye left to open, and the statue is almost cracked. There is a woman inside. Isn't this Jack's wife? She is now alive in front of Jack. Jack wants to catch her, but he couldn't move. He could only shed that last tear. And his wife is very sad to see him. Although he resurrected her, he is gone. The two are still in different worlds. It's no different from dying. They still can't hug each other again. I thought at first that Jack touched something taboo, touching this female statue every day. Then he turned himself into petrified stone, and the statue that was touched came to life instead. Is it an equivalent exchange? But thought of Jack's wife who died in a car accident. When he misses his wife, he will carve a statue of his wife. He hopes this will comfort his empty heart. This statue was sculpted by him with painstaking effort. But why did he slowly turn into stone? In fact, if you think about it from a different angle, rather, it's not his body that changes, but his spirit. Some people says exchange my life for your life, only then will you know my love. This may be the way to express Jack's love for his wife in this movie. And of course, you have to change the dark idea that Jack used his life to carve out his deceased wife, but also exchanged his own life. But then the story is not beautiful. Okay, this movie ends here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.